What's up YouTube, it's Dean Charles Anthony II back here again with another YouTube video. Hope everyone's doing well today. Today we're going to be going over 7 ways you can improve your photography and possibly your photography business right now. Number 1. Book a photography shoot yourself. Yeah, I know that might sound crazy, but for me, one of the best ways that I actually improved my own photography was actually experiencing a photographer that, one, I felt like I enjoyed his style and it was something similar that I was aiming for, and then 2, the prices that he was charging were the prices that I wanted to charge myself. By going through that experience, and this was actually for my wedding, when it came to the engagement shoot, with how he communicated, with how he delivered his photos, and even just on the back end and some of the little niches here and there that I really liked and some things that I didn't like, it was able to help me improve my experience that I give to my clients. So that's something that we don't really think about. You know, when you book a photo shoot, there's a couple of things that you get from it that, you know, only a nerd like me would probably do, right? So first thing that I did, I went through all the pictures, right? And not just looked at the pictures, I was in the metadata of the pictures. I was like, cool, I know I want to aim for get my events or my low light shooting to look a little bit more like this. Let me go check out his settings, right? I remember the flash that he was using. I remember that he was using Honeybook. Part of the reason I started using Honeybook. But these things that I was able to catch on, that I really liked, that I felt like I could bring it to my business to still make it my own, but still to give it to my clients, was an easy way for me to actually improve my photography. And honestly, it's helped me get a whole lot more clients because the professionality and the flow of my own photography workflow improve so much. Number 2, just avoid bad lighting. Sometimes it is just easy to just shoot where you are, take your camera out, you know, it's just like we're out here, it's quote unquote a pretty day, but the lighting isn't the best. And so, you know, we start to shoot or whatnot. Usually for me, those are the worst pictures of the day. And that's the reason why I just started just going ahead and letting my client know, or letting the person I'm taking pictures, hey, the lighting here is not the best. It's a little too harsh, or it's a situation where it's just not pleasant. It can be very spotty due to clouds or due to trees or something in the way, because basically a place that we plan to be an excellent location, due to the sunlight or just the environment itself, is no longer a pleasant place. So go ahead and just get comfortable with like telling your clients or whoever that you're shooting, hey, right now maybe we can come back later, but the lighting here is just not what we need. Particularly when we say bad lighting, I know for me it's 2 things. It's uneven, so that means that the light, as you kind of see, I have a light right here. You see how it's kind of like shaping my face. It's an even light on the face. Now if like half of my face is covered up, or if there's something stopping that light from being even, I would say that was bad lighting. And number 2, I would say bad lighting is things that are very harsh. So sometimes it can be harsh on your face where it like blows out highlights or anything like that. But 2, people could be staring at the sun, which is something I definitely try to avoid, because that's usually an easy way for a photo to not actually look very pleasant. People trying their best to smile in the sun is never a good look. So number 3, lift your chin up and roll your shoulder back. You see, it's already making my video look better right now. So those 2 things will revolutionize a lot of photography, because it just simply corrects bad posture, and it eliminates double chins, which nobody wants a double chin in a photo. If you, while you're posing, people just be really mindful of like where their shoulders are. So why I say like roll your shoulders back is that sometimes people go right here, right there in the, this might just be a natural posing place for them. So if you tell them just to kind of relax those shoulders, they might just go down a little bit. So we want to make sure that they get good and relaxed. So when you roll those shoulders back, you already see it's already adjusting the back, the shoulders, everything's just looking a little bit neater. And when you tell them to lift that chin up, it's already thinning. It's thinning the face, and it's keeping them from being down here, or like the face looking kind of like bigger than what it should be. So by doing those 2 things, lifting the chin and rolling the shoulder back, you're just naturally posing that person a little bit better. Sometimes I'll just say it in a shoot just to get them a little bit more comfortable with doing it, and just how they stay in that spot. And then 2, it helps with selfies. So just give them that little advice, and I guarantee you they'll keep it with them forever. 3, 2, 1. Speaking of selfies, number 4, Ask your client or the person that you're taking your picture of, which side of the face do they prefer, or which side of the face do they take their selfies on. This is a very easy trick to help people self-pose themselves and get more of your pictures just a little bit more desirable in that person's eye. Everyone has a favorite side, even if they don't say that they do. For me, it's this side. That's why we get a little bit more light. It's where my stronger dimple is. It's things that I'm self-aware about that I would love to be considered while I'm taking a picture. And so when you ask that question, it just helps the client, one, feel like you know what you're talking about and feel a little bit more comfortable that at least, even if the pictures come out any type of way, they know it's on my good side, right? And one more thing I would like to add to that is that if it is a little bit harder, someone tells you what side they can't really tell you what side they like, especially if they have longer hair, go with the side that they parted their hair on. Usually the side that they open up the part is usually the side that they want people to more so see. Number 5, we're gonna go with choose the best focal length. Now, this is something that everyone should really consider when you're taking portraits, when you're taking pictures just in general. Make sure that you are choosing the best focal length for the job. Now, for me personally, when I'm shooting portraits, particularly I like a longer lens. So you've heard me say it, 70-200. My favorite 200 is my favorite length for headshots and for most portraits. I like it that just that room, that space. I'm a loud person, so it's okay. I can talk talk loud enough while I'm away from somebody. But one thing, when I first started photography, I was shooting with that 18-55, and the 18-55 I was shooting mostly at 18. And one thing I realized as I grow as a photographer, I was distorting people's face. It wasn't the best focal length for shooting people's portraits or graduations and other things like that. What it is perfect is when you want to shoot someone's portrait and include a lot of the background, right? So if you have a beautiful landscape behind you, you want to use that 18 length focal length to get everything, that's great. But if you're focusing usually just up close on a person, you want to get something a little bit closer. 35 will work. Really, I would say go to that 50 or higher. But make sure that you're choosing the right focal length, because you don't want to make somebody's face look distorted or make people look bigger than what they are, or just give a disservice. We want to make sure that everyone's looking flattering in their pictures. So number 6, shooting wide open can ruin your photo shoot. So I know this might sound crazy. Everybody's like everything should be bokeh, everything bokalicious is, blur out the background. I'm guilty of it too. If you get that 1.2, get that 1.4, you should definitely use it wide open as often as you can. But it's not always best for portraits, especially when it comes down to making sure that your environment details can be told in the photo. So I'll give 2 examples. One, you could be shooting a graduation shoot, right? Shooting a graduation shoot, usually there's times where you're taking pictures of the graduate to include like a sign or a name or something of the school. So I live in Georgia, so let's just go with Georgia State, right? So Georgia State has a bridge, right? And you have to shoot pretty far off from the bridge in order to like get the whole sign in there. So if I'm shooting that at 1.2, that's blurred out, so you cannot read the sign that says Georgia State. Usually to get that, I have to be shooting at least 5.6, and that's sometimes I probably should actually stop up a little bit more. But in order to keep all the details in your photo, especially for keeping the environment in, you want to definitely stop up to make sure that everything is visible. The second thing is just going to be for group portraits or group details, and it honestly can even be with just 2 people, right? When you're shooting at that very wide open, you have to be very mindful of keeping people on that same level of focusing plane. That's how when you get to your edit, you see one person in focus and another person looking mighty soft. That's something that a pet peeve of mine that I really just don't care for, is for when, definitely, like if I'm shooting a couple and I always will focus on the woman, you check in the picture and then like you get to look at your picture on the back end and the guy's out of focus. It's not really the best look. So you just want to make sure that it's okay. Just to let you know, it's okay to stop up. Shooting at f4 is a perfectly fine thing. And honestly, that's part of the reason why we get these super wide open lenses, because they're sharper when you stop up. So just remember, you don't always need to shoot wide open. Number 7, find people to critique your work. So what do I mean by this, right? So when you're taking pictures, before you even like upload them or anything like that, make sure you get somebody to get their eyes on them, especially if that's not something that you usually do. That's an easy way to save on bad images, to save on unflattering photos from ever even being sent to the client. For me, it has always been two things. When I first started photography, I had a group of friends that I went out to shoot all the time. It was 3 young ladies, and honestly, I was really blessed because there was 3 different skin tones, and they all knew how they wanted to look in pictures. So when I went to go take their pictures, click, 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 click here and there, we would go back, they would look at the pictures, they'll be like, Dean, that's not the right one. Dean, that's not the right one. No, that's the shot. So that helped me develop my eye to recognize those things. Just those things of how to make people look more flattering in their pictures. 2, before I usually send out anything, I usually have somebody go through and curl through the pictures. Curl, I think I'm pretty saying the wrong word. I'm saying curl, but someone to go through the pictures, just to make sure that everything, like my eye didn't get fatigued. This is especially important when you're shooting longer events such as weddings or something like that, or maybe a longer branding or portrait session where you have someone with multiple outfits. I know for me, my eyes will get fatigued and I'm like, okay, cool. But if I take the time to let somebody else look at those pictures and go through, they might catch, hey, this hand doesn't really look right here, or this doesn't look good right here, and that gives me a chance to just really improve on the delivery of the images. So that's on 7, but I think I'm gonna give you a bonus. Subscribe to this channel. If you subscribe to this channel, you're gonna continue to get great photography videos. That's how you can improve your photography. So definitely go ahead and subscribe. And if you haven't yet, make sure you like, subscribe again. But appreciate y'all. I hope y'all like this video. Thank y'all for being a part of this journey. We're back. I know last week was a slow week, but we're picking things back up. So appreciate you. You have a great day. This is Dean Charles Anthony II, and I'm out.